Newcastle 2, Manchester City 1. The first victory in just one victory in 20 years, according to the stats today for Newcastle against Manchester City. Eddie Howe's first win over a City or Pep Guardiola team. Not many people expected this today. I certainly did. I saw this happening. A huge win. A Harvey Barnstorming win for Newcastle United. 10 minutes of madness in all actual fact, but a brilliant game overall. A huge win for the Toon Army. They needed this. They needed it for their season. They don't care about anybody else, but massive for Arsenal. A massive advantage now presented itself to Arsenal where they can extend their lead over Man City to 7 points with a win in the North London derby. Loads to go through in the next 60 minutes or so, but please like the video if you haven't done so already. Get yourself subscribing. Turn on that bell notification button because there's loads to break down. There's lots to praise with Newcastle today. I thought there were so many good quality elements with Newcastle and some fair bits with City to criticise actually as well. And right down to Pep Guardiola's substitutes for me being wrong, unless there was injuries that I'm not aware of. I think he made some grave mistakes, especially taking Dorgu off the football pitch in this match. But look, as ever, your thoughts, your opinions on this game matter to me so much more than what I've got to say. So I cannot wait to read them. I cannot wait to interact with them. That is what this community is all about. And look, straight away a comment here from one of our, our members and longest-standing City fans on the terrace. Took off Dorgu. I couldn't believe it. I will say straight away, I couldn't believe he did it. Dorgu created 4 chances in the game for City. To put that into perspective, that's more than every other midfielder and attacker combined in the City team. And he took him off the pitch. Pep Guardiola, what were you doing? What were you doing? My old bald friend. Imagine taking... Did I say Dorgu? I meant Doku. Sorry, my dyslexia. Doku. My apologies. But listen, might as well have been Dorgu if you're going to take him off. Like, have a go at Pep, not me. Do you know what it is? It's because he took him off. I'm thinking Dorgu. Pep's made me think it's Dorgu, not Doku. But yes, really, really not good from him. But loads to go through in this match. Penalty conversations, everything. And what a day as well. Like on the title race level for a moment. What a day for Arsenal. What a day for Chelsea. Liverpool losing, City losing. We can, I think Chelsea fans are sitting there tonight going, "Oh, what if Spurs pull off a little result tomorrow? What does that do for the league table? 3 points." Is all that would separate Chelsea from Arsenal if Spurs were able to win. But from an Arsenal perspective, they will be looking at this and saying, hang on, over because I don't think anybody genuinely thinks Chelsea can win the league. I don't think anyone thinks City, thinks United or Tottenham or Sunderland can win the league. I do think people believe that City or Liverpool, maybe Liverpool up until today could. So it's a massive element in that regard. Stop pretending you're happy. Your beloved Arsenal are looking good. Stop pretending you are happy. No, I am happy. I'm a Man United fan. I'm definitely happy when City lose football matches, but I'm going to call them fairly. I'm going to call the game fairly, break it down fairly with you lovely, lovely people this evening. Rahman here is a City fan, says, congratulations to all Newcastle United fans. And yeah, they deserve their congratulations because they were very, very good. They're very, very good indeed. And City have handed such an inviting advantage to Arsenal. It's there. It's in the envelope. You've undone it. They're waiting for the RSVP. Is it RSVP? I don't actually know what that stands for. I'm very working class. They're waiting for Arsenal to deliver on that. Newcastle United are a team, and I'm only going by the stats the commentator said. Newcastle have beaten City once in 20 years, according to this. 8 wins out of their last 50 league games against them, and Eddie Howe had never beaten a Man City or Pep Guardiola team until today. City are on a good run of form in the Premier League. They closed the gap in the previous game week. I didn't think today would be easy by any stretch of the imagination because I think Newcastle United have been a team this season who I think are actually have been a little bit underplayed because of their league position. It's all, when people really say, "Oh, they've been bad, they're rubbish, Eddie Howe should be sacked," that tells me you haven't watched Newcastle play. How Newcastle performed today in that 90 minutes, by and large, has been at least 8 of their 12 games this season. They just haven't come out on the winning end. And early in the match, they missed big chances. City did as well, to be fair, but Newcastle missed those big chances, and that is what's cost them in multiple games this season. I think on performance, if Newcastle had an extra 6 points to where they are now, that wouldn't be a strange scenario at all. Minimum 6. So I knew it would be a tough game today for Man City, but I had this horrible, although I predicted Newcastle to win, didn't mean I felt that it was impossible that City wouldn't be able to win, wouldn't be able to pick up a result. And you get nervous, don't you? You get nervous because there isn't a Man United fan on earth who wants City winning another Prem title, Pep adding something else to his legacy. We can't stop them. We're not in the title race. Man United won't be in it. We need other teams to help. We get to play them and beat them. We want Newcastle's to beat them. We want Arsenal's to beat them. We want Chelsea's to beat them. We don't want City and Pep adding another one to their legacy. Absolutely no way. Not on your Nelly. Can't happen. But City today should be so annoyed at their manager. Pep Guardiola today made some absolutely stinky decisions. The biggest one, Doku. He's been arguably the best winger in the league this year. His passing today was amazing. His chance creation, his line breaking, his dribble, everything was... I loved watching him play today. I thought he had an excellent game. I really, really did in this match. 4 chances created in the match. Didn't really get the shooting opportunities he would have wanted. And even though he didn't have a high succession rate of dribbles, if you watch how hard it was for his opponents to stop him, he was just a constant threat. Taking him off on the 76th minute, criminal. On every level, criminal. If you add up all the midfielders and all the other attackers combined, Doku was more dangerous and created more than all of them together. Taking him off was horrendous. Absolutely poor on every single level. I felt that really let them down. I thought defensively today as well, City were all over the place. They were playing out from the back. It was almost as though Pep had done no preparation work for how Newcastle would press them, especially early on in the games. I understand that, you know, City, as they grow in confidence, they're getting more and more like Pep's top teams. But again, I felt their line today was too high at times. Didn't need to be that high. This Newcastle team is full of speed, power, and pace, and they got exposed. And if it hadn't been for Donnarumma, I know he made a mistake on the second goal, which we'll get to. If it hadn't been for Donnarumma in the early parts of the game, they could have been 2 or 3-0 down. So, yes, Haaland got put through on goal and he messed up the shot. That's different from relying on your goalkeeper to having to make a save. Voldemar should have got 2 goals for me. Barnes should have buried a chance. And somebody went through on goal early in the game. It might have actually been Barnes as well when they caught them playing out from the back. So I thought the setup was wrong from Pep. I thought some of his later substitutions were wrong. Got it wrong. There's no doubt about it. Individuals, look, I'm not going to dunk it on Haaland too much because the man scores in nearly every single game that he plays in. But I thought again today, overall, I thought Erling Haaland was a shadow of what we've seen so far this season. He missed 3 big chances in this game. 3 big chances, which is... it's never acceptable, no matter how much you've scored. But of course, there's a lot of credit in the bank, so nobody will go in too hard on him. But I thought he missed some really big chances today. I thought Phil Foden had an absolute stinker. He missed a massive chance. You know, again, he's one of those players that you won't always notice a stinker from Phil because he looks good. His lines are good. His lines are good. You know, he holds a plie well. He looks fantastic when he does. I don't know any more dance moves. Let's get the names of them. Give me ballet dance move names. I don't know them. All right, so I've got plie, right? I got a plie. Oh, shit. They're all in, like, proper language, aren't they? Hang on a minute. Give me dance move names. I've got to do this. This is what other YouTubers do, but they rehearse it. So, you know, you might like his plie. You might like his... I don't know these. I don't know anymore. His body roll. You might like his jazz hands. You might like his shoulder lean. Right? You might look. The lines might be great. You might be giving him a 9 out of 10 on Strictly Come Dancing, but his impact as a football player today was poor. I thought that Guardiola had a stinker at the back today. Should have got booked earlier on in the match. I have no idea how that didn't happen. But a lot of this for me, I've got to give credit to Newcastle. So as much as there are individuals that have bad games, Haaland missing his chances, Foden having a stinker, Guardiola just looking nowhere near his level. And I thought Pep, he didn't get the team's approach right, and the substitution of Doku coming off, horrendous. You've got to give a lot of credit to Newcastle. As I've already said, where they sit in the league, I think slightly false in the sense that their performances versus league position. And I assess clubs more on their performances more than their results in the first 10 to 20 games of the season. Newcastle are going to recover. I believe this is the start of that recovery. They've got Wissa to come back. It's a very good team there. The idea of sacking Eddie Howe, I heard this a few days ago, made me... What happened is I was a little bit sick and the vomit came up to here and burnt my throat and went back down again. I thought any Newcastle calling for his sacking needs a slap in the face. Needs a cold slap in the face. Shut your mouth, you idiot. Just like last year at this stage, and then they went on to have their greatest season in 70 years. They're going to be okay, and they're going to catch up, and they're going to get there. They deserve a lot of credit today, Newcastle. I thought they were excellent to a man. Standout, of course, Harvey Barnes. I thought he was absolutely brilliant. I really, really did. I thought he was brilliant today. Not just the fact that I've got a lot of respect for players that miss big chances, but don't allow that to impact their composure the next time, the time after that. First goal was excellent. Great play by Newcastle. But it was the second goal that stands out to me. They just conceded. And there was a really good chance at that point that because they had just conceded, they sort of, you can sometimes capitulate with the results. That's where the results and performance analysis, you have to kind of, there's a sort of overlap area of, even though you've been performing well, the results haven't gone your way. When there's some adversity, can you remain composed? Can you remain relaxed? Can you still play your game? And Newcastle did. They win a corner. I thought Donnarumma should have done better from the initial delivery, but everything after that was brilliant from Newcastle. It was aggressive from Newcastle, and the ball falls to Barnes, and I just liked his composure. He didn't just flick. If you go back to Man United versus Liverpool, it was a time where the goalkeeper, Mamardashvili, I think that's his name, unless I've said his name wrong. Anyway, is that a fighter in the UFC, Mamardashvili? Or is it the goalie? Anyway, it's irrelevant. The Liverpool goalkeeper, he drops the ball and Mount just flicks a back flick leg at it and it goes over the bar. Or actually, if he'd have relaxed a second, taken a little touch, let the ball bounce, he probably would have scored. And Barnes did that fantastically, put the ball away. And I felt it ended as a contest at that point, because it was at that moment where you saw the heads of City go down and they created diddly squat after that. The substitutions, as I've already mentioned, weren't very good. So Newcastle deserve their credit. Well done to them. Bad day in the office for Man City, but it is all eyes now on Arsenal Football Club. All eyes on Arsenal Football Club tomorrow. Win, you maintain your 6 points over Chelsea, and you play them in the next game with an opportunity to extend it. You can go 7 points clear, I believe it will be, of Manchester City. I don't even know what the points over Liverpool will be, at least 11 or 12. And you would give yourself such an insurance policy at this early stage of the season. It's massive. The advantage that between City's poor elements and Newcastle's quality today, as I've said, that invitation to an advantage, that free insurance policy has been offered to you. All Arsenal have to do tomorrow against Spurs is do what they have done 99 times out of 100, is beat them at the Emirates Stadium. This could be a massive weekend for the Gunners after this result. But as ever, look, I want your views. I want your opinions on this. Please leave your comments below if you haven't done so already. Get liking, subscribing, and hit that hype button for us too. Now let's come and look at some of your comments before I bring out. It's funny, isn't it? No City fans have turned up. No City fans are here. They've had the link. They've had the link, I tell you. It's in the group chats. We've actually got quite a few City fans in there as well. What is it? What's that, KJ? Hang on, just gonna hang on through. Oh, they're currently assessing the plies and the Lindy hops. And the moonwalk. Okay, yeah, they're currently assessing dance moves. They're currently assessing the dance moves of the players. That makes a lot more sense, to be fair, rather than the actual football. But there we go. Let's go to some of your comments that have come through here. This is City don't travel well, other than a point at Arsenal and 3 at Wolves and Brentford. The rest are losses. Well, this is one of the reasons why, and it's a great super chat, when people sort of, over the course of I sort of didn't, in the last few days, I didn't react to as much as I normally do, because I personally just wanted a break and I wanted to relax. But I saw Jimmy Floyd Hasselbank, who I, of course, have a lot of respect for. He was a great professional football player. But I see him saying to this Arsenal fan, it's City's to lose still because they've done it before. And I find that type of analysis so flawed. And you get Jamie Carragher saying we should respect pundits, respect ex-players more than anybody else's football opinion. Not when football opinions sound like that. City, of course, the fear factor they hold is that because those players have won league titles, the manager has won everything multiple times. But if you've watched Man City this season, yes, they're second, third in the league and deserve to be. They're one of the best teams in England still. But they are not this formidable City team. I don't believe they're a formidable City team that could win 10 on the bounce. I don't believe City in the Premier League can win 10 games on the bounce. I don't believe they're capable of doing that. So therefore, the idea that you just City, this team to beat, you got to watch out for them. They're so dangerous. They're unstoppable. They're not anymore. And I'm not saying they're losing loads and loads of games. They're not. They're a very good team. But if you actually look at this season, they won their first game, loss. Then they won, then they drew. So 5 games in, no more than a 1-game winning sequence. Then they won 3 on the bounce. You know, they beat Burnley, they beat Brentford, they beat Everton. Then they lose. Then they won 2 on the bounce. Then they've lost. So my point is, so far this season, and the majority of last season, this City team hasn't shown itself to be capable of winning 10, 15 league games on the bounce. I don't think Chelsea can do that. I don't think Liverpool can do that. By the way, I don't think Arsenal are going to win 10, 15 league games on the bounce this year because of the quality of the Prem. And it's why I've said this so many times before. And Phil's backstage. Me and Phil have had this debate before about the quality of the Prem being higher now than previously. I'm more inclined to say yes to it this season than last year, the year before that. Do you know why? Because when I look at this Premier League table, and I've said it before, and I'll say it again, I'm going to read it out now. The league's changed a little bit from today. We can go down to as low as 14th. You could actually go down to as low as 16th. Is it conceivable that we look at the 3 title main contenders, Liverpool, City, Arsenal? Would you say it's a foregone conclusion with them going away to Newcastle in 16th? Of course you wouldn't. Fulham in 15th? No. Newcastle in 14th? Hello, today. Everton away. Much tougher game than usual. Brentford away? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. At one point today, Brentford were actually winning. They were sitting 5th in the league, but we know that's not an easy place to go. Going to Anfield isn't actually easy, even though Forest won today. Going to Man United at the minute, 5 wins out of their first 6. Hard place to go. Villa away. Yes, they started poorly, but look at the run of form they're on. They're a hard team to beat at their ground. Spurs at their ground, fair enough, quite easy. Right, I'll give you that one. Bournemouth at their ground. They're not on a great run of form at the minute. But I still don't think anybody goes, oh, I'm so looking forward to going Bournemouth. Sunderland at their ground. Nobody wants to go there right now. Brighton away, hard game. Palace away, hard game. City away, hard game. Chelsea away, hard game. Arsenal at the Emirates, a hard game. My point is, over the last 18 months, 2 years, the quality of the Premier League has got to what I felt it used to be. Where there wasn't easy games. This isn't like the Centurions year. This isn't like the 98, 99, 100-point seasons where there wasn't a team that City or Liverpool played in those years where you went, they might lose outside of 1 or 2 of the top 6. We didn't do it. We all went win, win, win. We don't do that anymore. Quality very, very high indeed. Great super chat. Great super chat. The Magpies have eaten all the sharks. They weren't sharks today. They were dogfish. Arsenal must give Mike Oliver and our rivals nothing tomorrow. We must capitalize on this. We expect Arteta. I think you should expect in this weekend, just micromanage it down to this weekend. You should expect now to extend that lead over City without a shadow. When them sharks where are them sharks all of a sudden? James here, big up yourself, James. Gorgeous dog, by the way. He said studs on your planted leg is no longer a foul. VAR needs to go immediately. Wasn't even the wrong decision of the worst decision of the day with a handball one. It's a shambles, the state of it, embarrassing. Before I bring the panel out, I'm touching on the VAR stuff. I'm doing that separately today, but thank you for the super chat. I agree with big parts of what you say. This season shows Man City away form is not good. I agree with you. Hey, Terry, Pep absolutely bottled it today, and Doku was their best player by far today. I predicted 3-2 Newcastle, and after this first half, thought I would come true. Great performance by the Toon. No, it certainly was, mate. They were fantastic today. Thank you, Luke Skywalker, for encouraging everybody to hit that like button for us. That's amazing of you. We've only got 400 likes at the minute. Let's get it to 1,000, please, people. Let's get that done. Beating Newcastle isn't for everybody. Come on, you gooners, is what Emmanuel says here. If we can just stay healthy, we've got it. Come on, you gooners. If Arsenal are having the season Liverpool are having, they would be getting slaughtered. I do agree with you on that, to be fair. I mean, I'm not going into it in too much detail on this stream, but I do agree with you. I've noticed is City give up so many chances. Well, this is also why this is also why you've got to look at performances and not the name of the team and the manager. Because this City team they're not as bad as the one winning 13, but this isn't the City team of 2 seasons ago and that 4-peat City team. They give up chances. They're gettable. Then what I think is lots of other teams in the Premier League have got better in the last 2 to 3 years. And how do I explain this? You know, if the team at the top gets a little worse and the teams beneath them get a little better, that gap suddenly narrowed. When the gap's narrowed, they're going to drop more points. The idea that City are this foregone conclusion, I find it a crazy, crazy notion indeed. In terms of the VAR, before I bring the panel out to have their say on the show, I want to speak on the VAR today, because I think VAR in the Liverpool game today was a disgrace. I do think City should feel hard done by. The first penalty on Phil Foden, it's like a double-edged sword for me. I think it should be a penalty all day long. And I have done for years. And I go back to an example. If you've been watching the Football Terrace since its inception, I speak of this example from back. It's one that always stands out in my mind. It was Ashley Cole for Chelsea on Javier Hernandez, Chicharito. He had a shot. And Ashley Cole did like a lunge to block him. The shot went over or just wide. And then his studs went right down his shin. It's a foul anywhere else on the pitch. It's a penalty every day of the week. You could argue a red card. But because the shot was taken, so therefore there was no disadvantage to the player, it wasn't given. That's the reasoning that the Premier League and the PGMOL have given for this. And normally I say I don't care about people's opinions. I want to know about we call that the inconsistency. What I will say in this regard, because I want to talk about it, is there was no inconsistency today. They don't normally give these. So for that element, the PGMOL did the right thing. It would be absolutely wrong for a decision that I cannot remember the last time one was given. In fact, I can remember back Javier Hernandez, Ashley Cole, United Chelsea, which has got to be 15 years ago now, maybe a little bit less, maybe about 13, 14 years. No, it's got to be 15 years ago, right? It's about 15 years ago. I remember it from then till now. So in at least 15 years, they don't give those. But it's something they have to address. How that's not a foul will always annoy me. That isn't a Newcastle thing. I'm not supportive of Man City, if everybody knows. But it's a decision that's consistently not given. So that element, I have to applaud the PGMOL for, that they didn't suddenly panic and, we'll give it on this occasion, because that's what I always call out. On the other side of it, and that may not be for today's show, there has to be a debate around this. How is that not a foul? It makes zero sense. The other one they've got to look at, and this also happened today to not just, this happened to Burnley, and I saw it happen to City today. Why are referees stopping a defender making a foul before a corner's taken? Blows the whistle and says, don't commit that foul, you'll concede a penalty. Why are you warning him? I don't understand it. Let him commit the foul and give the penalty. It's mad to me. It's like, imagine players running through on goal. Defender looks like he's going to take him out. Or imagine the referee blows the whistle and says, everyone, stop the game. Stop the game. We'll go back to where we were. Make sure you don't trip him up as you'll get sent off. Right, guys, let's all go back to the starting positions and play on. That's how it feels in my brain. It's like, what the fuck are these refs doing? The handball, I get why people want it given. For me, I don't think he's trying to make his body bigger. The arm's in a natural position because he's trying to get it into his body. He's trying to get it in so it isn't out, and he gets it here. It hits his elbow, which is right by his body. So for me, I wouldn't have given it. If for instance, he sort of puts his arm like this and it hits his hand, I can get it. I get it. Right? But he's brought his arm in. If you watch it, he does this to try and make himself as small as possible to not give away the penalty. And it hits the elbow that's right next to the body. So for me, it's probably going to hit the body, if anything, as well. So I wouldn't have given that penalty. So I wanted to address those two decisions today. I do think the foul, the challenge on Foden, they should always be given. But I've had a lot of people throw this back at me and I accept it. They're never given. And I suppose the question we have to ask is, what do we normally get angry at VAR for? Is it making decisions we don't agree with? Or is it when they randomly give a decision in the opposite direction? For instance, how Forest's first goal today stood after the wanky lies they gave about the one against City and Liverpool the game week earlier. I know the ball was hit with a little bit more velocity, a lot more velocity. But they said there was no action of the player standing in front of the goalkeeper that would have impeded him. What, like ducking, like moving out the way of the ball? That's where I think we should be getting angry, but that's just me. Terry, we need to listen to the Sharks. Well, Hamza has come backstage. So Hamza's going to be joining us in a few moments' time on the show that come and have his say, which will be nice. I haven't heard from Hamza in a while. We haven't heard from him in a bit. Mo's backstage. Oh, look at it. We've got three smiling Geordies backstage. Only one of them's actually a Geordie. So now, why don't people support teams where they're from? That's my challenge here. Do you know what I mean? And if people don't get the irony in me saying that, then you need to get off the internet, read a book, get a girlfriend, and consensually touch a boobie. Consensually touch a boobie. That's what you need. I need to make sure I say that because the world's mad nowadays. There we go. Right, time for the panel. Let me move myself over to here. Let me remove this off the screen like so. Oops, I pressed it twice. There we go. Right. Judge Mo's here. Ash is here. Kane, Toon Tactic, and Hamza is on the show. Welcome back, everybody. Congratulations to the Geordies. I'm going to go to you first, Kane. A massive win. I didn't realize it's one win in 20 years against them.
Yeah, they like to put, I mean, it was 20 years. We're talking like Steve Bruce, Steve McLaren is. So,
yeah.
Whatever. I would, if they want to do it, Eddie Howe. I think even Eddie Howe has not got a great record against Pep, but Man City have been on top for so long. A star like that is not going to surprise me at all. But I think what we saw today was the difference. Newcastle are with and without Tino Livramento and Lewis Hall. The ability of those two players alone give Newcastle wingers so much freedom to be able to press as high as we could. Like tonight, we actually saw Newcastle. The identity of Newcastle was shown today. I thought in the weeks leading up to this, we've been fairly meek with our press, and we kind of just sat in our shell. And teams came onto us, and I thought we sort of isolated our midfield a lot. But tonight, this was Newcastle of old. It was great to watch. I mean, I want to give Man City some credit though. That first half, it could have gone either way. They had some great chances. Haaland should have scored, but listen, instinctual from Nick Pope. When you got a 6'6" guy who covers most of the goal, you'd like to think he stops those. But it was a fantastic save. But I make you right. I think even then, with the Man City chances in the first half, I think we shaded them on chances as well. Barnes should have had one, maybe two. Voltemada should have had one, maybe two. But Donnarumma, credit to that guy. There's a reason a lot of people are putting him up there in those top goalkeeper conversations, and he showed it tonight. But I think on the second half performance, I think we deserve this win, and I think it's time. People have been mocking us these last few weeks, rightly so. But right now, we deserve our flowers. We were the better team against Man City today. I always back us at home. People seem to think we're just a bad team right now. I think if you actually look at them, our home form's a lot stronger than our away form. I think the only teams that have beat us at home are Arsenal, Liverpool, both of which were last-minute winners, and Barcelona, who, again, had a tough game at us. So coming to St. James's is still not an easy game. And listen, I think credit to the lads, credit to Eddie. I thought he got his tactic pretty much spot on. Even when the lads were getting a bit tired, he moved into literally like a 5-4-1, putting Alanga up on his own and just said, right, okay, break us down, Man City, because they weren't really doing that in the second half. I think their only chance was that scrappy goal from Diaz from the corner. And listen, Shaw was unfortunate that it just sort of goes through his legs and sort of bobbles in. So, yeah, I'm super happy with the result tonight. I'm hoping that we take this, we grow from this, and we move forward. We got Marseille on Tuesday, I think, away. It'll be a big game in the Champions League. And onwards and upwards for the lads.
Yeah, absolutely. And Phil, do you echo that? I mean, you just seem to have got your tactics right today. There were so many special performances as well, namely like Harvey Barnes. Yes, 2 big chances missed, but 2 very important goals. It just felt to me like Newcastle, it was like they weren't taking no for an answer today. It was like you had to win, and the players went out and played and delivered in that way.
Yeah, no, that's absolutely right. Echo everything you both have said actually about that. We went into a 5-3-2 out of possession, kind of been able to defend the wingers. I think City, like how Pep has evolved the team, is really good in terms of how he uses the fullbacks, how he uses the double pivot, whether it's Foden, Cherky, and Nicolas Gonzalez. And so was quite wary of that. I thought we might go into a 4-3-3 kind of when we're kind of in the defensive mode, but we went into a 5-3-2. And yeah, having the 2 fullbacks, Hall and Livramento, made a world of difference just because they're so good. Hall, for instance, excellent in like close quarters, can invert as well. Livramento, his ability to run into the spaces, but also the recovery runs. If you see the stats, the ability to do recovery challenges. I think Livramento had 8. That's insane. You know, Kieran Trippier, God bless him, but he's too old. He can't do that. We have to protect him a lot more during games. What that allowed us are both our wingers in Barnes and Murphy, but especially Barnes, to invert a little bit in behind Voltemada, and that meant Voltemada had chances. Voltemada had 4 shots today, 2 of them on target. I think 2 big chances. That wasn't happening before. I think I was talking about this before and it was mentioned. I think fullbacks, certainly for Newcastle, but fullbacks the new number 10s in the modern game. I think for Newcastle, certainly they are, and they make a world of difference. So, but you're right. So in terms of like winning the game,
don't say that in front of Mo about fullbacks actually being more like attackers now, wingbacks being attackers. We've had a lot of debates about that this week. Sorry.
Is it? No, but you're right. You can have a great performance, but in the
ball knowledge again. A wing back is different than a fullback. Just ball knowledge, just general ball knowledge. Go ahead. Yeah. Sorry, Philip.
Yeah, no, I think they're more hybrid. Like even both, like especially Lewis Hall, we played most of the time as a midfielder for Chelsea. And Livramento, I think they're just more hybrid nowadays in how they're used. Like Chelsea are really good at how they use their fullbacks. And when we have them, they make a world of difference to how we play. And you saw it today. So, yeah, fantastic game all round. Even with Tonali, like his engine, Bruno Gomes, you saw the best of him. Like it was an excellent performance, and it was just important to get the result. We did ride our luck a little bit with some of the Haaland chances, but when you're playing well, you kind of need some of that, and we used it to get the game over the line.
Absolutely, Mo. From a neutral perspective, why did you feel that Newcastle were able to get that win over City today? What was it that gave them that edge over Pep Guardiola's side?
The referee. I thought the goal should not have stood, based on how they said. Okay, so basically,
which goal?
The second goal.
Okay.
The reason why I'm saying that,
Newcastle's second goal or Man City's goal?
Newcastle second goal. And the reason why, I'm just going to be completely on, even though I thought Newcastle played well, New created a lot of chances and Voltemada should have scored, but Donnarumma stood tall, to be honest, in the goal. I think they drew the line because it's all about, when Terry speaks all his shows and all his videos and everyone is asking for consistency, we want to see the same line drawn from the same position, right? For Manchester United and other teams, it is drawn a little bit earlier than this. They stayed so long for it, and they drew the line from the last part of his sleeve, the white line at the end, and that is not where they
it wasn't.
Drew the line.
It wasn't from the edge of it. It wasn't. It was from further up. Like, oh, do you know what? Should we have a bet?
From here.
How about this? Let's have a bet. let's have a bet of where they
Bro,
did it.
just
I watched
listen.
exactly
I
where
can
they did
show
it.
you the picture where they drew for Burnley,
it.
Man United. I
No,
can show you the
show it,
picture
because
where
it
they drew
wasn't-
for
it
other
wasn't right at
ones.
the
It
end,
is
was a
very
little bit
simple.
further back.
By the way, I'm just going to tell everyone where the semi-automated offside failed. Because at the end, the semi-automated offside is great in having the right picture at the right frame and the lines are not drawn by hand. But they choose which part of the body to draw the line from. And my evidence of this is Man United 2 offsides, one against them and one for them. It was drawn from a different place on the sleeve. Today, even though I'm not going to take anything away from the performance, it was fantastic. But small decisions change games, in my opinion. And there is a reason why they stayed so long on it, because I think, based on what I have seen in this league, I'm not agreeing or disagreeing with the decision in terms of right or wrong, but you set the precedent before by drawing the lines from a different place for different teams. You did it. They did it for City even before. They draw it from a little bit above, like from here, depending on where the arm is. And the people that are crying in the chat, I know everyone. This is the thing about me. And I'm different than you, right? I'm different than the majority of the people that come on the Football Terrace. Because people think about the bias. Everyone here have a hat of like a fan. You're a Newcastle, you're an Arsenal, you're a City, you're a Liverpool, it doesn't matter. When I was watching the game, I was so sure that this is going to be called back offside. Even the commentators were so sure about it, right? And it was very obvious. And people have to, like, it's going to happen against your team one time. And you're going to be here crying about it. But that is for the offside. I wanted to get this because you can draw the line wherever you want, but you have to be consistent. If you're going to draw it from the last point of your sleeve, it's got to be for every single team. Not for Man City or Newcastle. By the way, exactly this. Look at this, Terry.
Is
It's
that
the
from the
last
edge?
part of the white. Yeah.
No, it isn't. That's the right.
I'm not listening to that. Sorry.
Anyway,
that wasn't the reason the game was lost.
I can show
I'm
you the
not
picture of
blaming the
Man
refs.
United
Don't
versus
touch it.
Burnley.
That's for
I
babies.
show you the picture of Man United versus Burnley, right? And it's like different place exactly where they draw the line. You guys can go and check it out. Just type Man United versus Burnley offside and you can check it out. I'm not here.
Cry
I'm just,
about that. You're just being a
listen,
baby. It wasn't the refs' fault.
bro, I'm
today.
not even a Man City fan, Kill. I'm not even a Man City fan.
How
I'm
are
just
you
saying
saying?
I was asked a question.
The goal
and I
was
have to give my
valid.
honest
I'm not
opinion.
listening to that.
It's
That's
up
not
to
an
you. It's up to, okay, let me just finish, Kelk, before you interrupt me. The reality is I was asked, and I'm just going to say this. I don't think this was onside. I think this was offside, right? I think it's obvious, but that is the reality, right? And by the way, everyone accused me of hating Man City. So for me, I should be coming here and saying, clear onside, there is no robbery, there is nothing, right? There is nothing here. It's literally the last part of the white thing, bro. This
No,
is
it isn't.
normally they don't draw it from here.
The last
You
part
guys
is on the right of his arm. It's not even on the There's even blue
Anyway,
above
anyway, Ash, I said my opinion. You can debate it whatever you want. I'm just gonna tell you this. Go check Man United offside when they call it against Man United. I have it in my bookmark.
Look,
I have it in my bookmark. Terry knows what I'm talking about. We debated this before, my friend. We debated this before.
Hang on though. So I know what you're saying, right? But my one question is does it stop where the white bit is, or does it go up just past the middle part of his arm? Am I seeing a little bit of that same like yellow line on the outside of it, like in the middle of his arm, as opposed to by the white bit? Because I'd like to see the opposite side. In terms of the Man United one that you've mentioned, I'm just about to put that up on the screen now. Because the only thing, and maybe it's my eyes, and maybe one of my monitors isn't colored right. Because let me just put that one up on the screen. So it's coming up now. It'll come up in a few seconds on your screens. So this one to me also looks like we're just using the end of the sleeve of the arm.
Okay, just go to the other one. I'm gonna send you the picture now, Terry. Okay. So you can just see exactly.
But that's from the Burnley game, and for me, that looks like they're using the very lowest part of the arm as well, though.
Yeah.
By the way, how is the same place and some player offside and some player not? I'm gonna show you the picture exactly where they called for Man United.
Where have you sent it, bro? To where?
This is why I hate this stuff, man. Like, why can we not just say people are allowed so much to be offside? Like, I'm fed up of toenails and stuff. Like, who cares, man? Stop trying to just rule out good goals. Stop ruining the flow of the game. Like, I'm not gonna lie. If this was against me, if someone, say Haaland, had a half a foot offside, let the goal stand. I don't care.
I agree with you. If the rule is the same, the rule is the same. It's fine with me. I don't care, bro.
I think what
me,
Terry said before was more accurate. I think the Foden one was more likely to be a penalty. Like in my eyes, I thought that was a foul. To be honest.
See, Mo, I know what you're talking about, but this is. I don't think this is about the but you're going by the different scenario. Right? Hang on a second, people. I know what he's talking about now. I'm going to get this one up on the screen as well.
I mean,
for me,
I thought it was going to get pulled off for offside, and obviously I'm very glad that it didn't. But I think my contention from what you're saying, Mo, is I don't think you can say the reason Newcastle won was because this one goal was given onside rather than offside. I think Newcastle
played very well, by the way. Played very well.
We should have scored a lot more goals.
I think that's what you should be talking about, rather than saying the only because of what you said. The question to you is, what did Newcastle do to deserve this win? And you just went the ref, like sort of discrediting all.
Yes, I think because to be honest with you, I thought it was offside, and it changes. Listen, here is the problem, guys, with this. When I come on Arsenal match reactions or Liverpool match reactions, and I get asked a question, right? Mm-hmm. And the majority, for example, the majority of Arsenal fans say something about we're being robbed. That decision might have changed the game. Or Liverpool fans say that for a penalty against City or a penalty against that. And we say, no, I have to have the same energy. Otherwise, I will lose my credibility. You are a fan. You say, I am happy it went. I'm happy it went for you. And by the way, sometimes Arsenal, for example, would play a brilliant game and they would just draw by an offside goal. For example, Chelsea, for example, when they drew against Brentford, it was clear offside. It wasn't called off, right? And we had to call it because it was a wrong decision. And that is my opinion. I'm here, guys, to state my opinion. I just want to say, your opinion.
So where I think you may have got this slightly wrong, and it is because the graphic's never been explained, is on the one you sent me, which is this here. Yes, it shows a higher part of whoever number 8 is, Bruno Fernandes, I think. I assume they use their real numbers. It shows a higher part of his arm, but it shows you where his arm is in line with, and his arm is in line with the player's foot. So that part of his arm is in line with him. If, for instance, it was the tip, then maybe you'd be offside. Does that make sense? So for me, it's a different scenario. I don't quite get what you're saying. The foot is ahead of the arm. It's just not come up right on the graphic. Does that make sense? I don't think
the line is ahead. He's offside. He's offside. Yeah, how did he call? How did he call this onside? If your arm, if that part of the arm is onside, that means that part of the arm cannot call somebody offside. It goes both ways. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I understand that.
Part of the arm is onside.
Yeah. I understand that, but where is that? Do you see what I'm saying here by the different graphics? What I'm saying is that graphic shows you the bits that are onside and offside. This shows you the line. What I need to see, you could be right. What I need to see is the same type of graphic. I need to see which bits get shaded and which bits show the color still to show us whether they're measuring lower or higher. Because I feel like when I'm looking at this,
that shows you where they drew the line from, but then the bit after is that they then show the actual graphic that you're talking about, where they have like that sort of that screen, and it shows Bruno's behind where they've taken that line from, so showing that he's onside. So that graphic's there.
So that's what I mean. They're two different graphics they use. I need to see them both to understand the difference. Where you're right, if this version. If the other version, do you see how that's different to that? See how they're different? They've got that kind of white sheet over them. If the white sheet version comes out and they've measured it from a different part of the arm, I'll call it out with you. But we need to see that they've measured it from a different part of the arm. Does that make sense? I can't tell that from that point. That's all I'm saying.
That's like a frame before
people think I'm defending City. Because I'm like, oh my God, I'm crying.
Because I know what it is, Mo. They're one of your new sponsors, right? And you've got to defend them. That's probably what it is. Like, do you know what I mean? You got to do. On that, listen, Hamza and Kel are here with us. Hamza, what went wrong for City today? Pep, some poor substitutions I'm seeing get called out. What went wrong and how comes Newcastle done ya?
I think number one, I'll call out the referee. This league, we have one of the worst referees in thing, and these referees don't deserve to go like major competition. I'm sorry, we have the worst officials in the league history. It's so shameful that you watch a game and it's spoiled by guys who have got computers to look at. And Foden's penalty, like The guy kicks him. Like, even a 10-year-old boy would know that is a basic. It's like you got guys who are working at Sainsbury or Tesco, or guys who are just, and you basically got them and say, you're refereeing. You're going to sit on the computer and VAR. Because that Foden one is a 10. He's like, he kicks you. You can't get that wrong. And Premier League, why do they have referees this bad? Do they need to go uni or something?
Do you want the
uni to be referee? Because I tell you one thing, Terry, about it, yeah? It's shameful because foreign fans who are watching Serie A speak to me and say, yo, I don't rate your refs. Your refs are crap. They tell me your refs are crap. They're useless. They don't do anything. They're always getting it wrong. Arsenal fans are complaining about it. I'm complaining about it. But it comes to a point where I don't
you want to act like an Arsenal fan.
I see this game because this is a game changer because I could be chasing Arsenal to win the league, but that era cost Man City. But
okay, then why are you not complaining about that? Why are you not complaining about Erling Haaland?
Number two, I congratulate Newcastle. No one should come out here and not congratulate Newcastle. They deserved it. Like, I'll be honest with you. St. James's Park is a dangerous place. I respect that place. And one thing I said it to Kel, you need game changers. When you go to St. James's Park, we've lost 3 away games now. We've lost Aston Villa away. We've lost Man City away to Newcastle. And we lost to Brighton away. So it's not as if we're that good. We're not that good. Yeah? We beat Liverpool 3-0. Yeah? The Liverpool team that got beat by Nottingham Forest 3-0 with Sean Dyche. So there's no grace about being that great. We lost KDB. To me, I look at a team that Foden, I never criticized Foden, but you know what? We have to criticize Foden today. Foden had a stinker. Foden had chances. And if I say Man City fans are going to call me out and say, oh, how dare you? But listen, we have to be uncomfortable today. Foden had a stinker. Foden's supposed to carry us. Foden was supposed to be the David Silva replacement. He was supposed to be the KDB replacement because the KDB in that game, I win that game. Those kind of chances, I'm smashing Newcastle 3-0. This is a Newcastle team that lost to Brentford 3-1. They lost to West Ham. These Newcastle fans will tell you they're not that strong this season. And they've lost Anthony Gordon this season. They're not that strong. We should be beating them. Then
are you waffling? That's not true.
Pep.
You're just taking away our goals. You've just said you'd beat us 3-0. So where's our goals gone? They've just disappeared.
If I had KDB, Rodri, and all
these so we've just lost goals.
No, I congratulate Newcastle. But our players like Foden should finish those 2-3 chances he had. Like, if you don't finish Newcastle and Newcastle still on the game, guess what? Newcastle will finish it. Because I know St. James's Park, they don't give you, and the crowds are very good. They're very passionate. And once they get one goal, I'll panic. And the players panicked and they couldn't come back from that. And congratulate Newcastle. Their fan base were onto us. Savio came on, the sub was the one that killed me. The substitution killed me straight away. I said, I'm losing 2-1 to Newcastle. I look at Savio and Oscar Bob. Guys don't score goals. Guys don't shoot. Savio, we missed 70 million to sell him. But I think the club are trying to force our farmers who have seen it. He's having stinker after stinker. Pep's refusing to take him off against Brentford. Pep's refusing to take him off against Villa. Pep's refusing. He brings him on when we're losing a game. When Omar Mamouche is on the bench, a game changer like Omar Mamouche. Why is Omar Mamouche not being allowed to come on? Against Villa, he was allowed 88th minute to come on. 88th minute. Yeah, 88th minute he came on. He created a chance. Why is Omar Mamouche coming at the 19th minute? Savio came off. He had a corner flag to pass it to, what's his name? Reinders. He misplaced the pass. They nearly scored another third goal. So to me, I'm looking at this Pep substitution. Pep, I think he's being stubborn of trying to say, I know Tottenham wanted Savio, but I'm going to prove it to all of you fans wrong that he's still a good player. But guess what? That kind of substitution with Oscar Bob, we couldn't make a difference. It didn't make a difference to us. And Newcastle today, I congratulate Newcastle for that win because to me, we need to go January. I know Liverpool are so shameless that they're thinking about Semenyo. We need to go to the January transfer window and sign.
You say they're shameless. You've spent more money in the last 2 windows than they have, to be fair. Before we go to Kel and get Kel's opinion, I found the graphic we were talking about. And what it shows is they did draw the line in the middle of the arm. And it's there. They did draw the line from the middle of the biceps. It's just his arm is not out at a 90-degree angle. It's at a 45-degree angle. But the line was drawn in the middle of the arm, Mo, as you can see very clearly there. And in that picture, it shows the line in, as you can see. So it was 100% drawn in the middle of the arm.
So it wasn't the referee that won the game. It was Newcastle. That's good. That's good.
I want to see the same line from everywhere. Maybe I got it wrong, but I want to see that.
I just say that there is one thing that's I think has not been spoke about at all, and the most.
I don't know why Philip is laughing. I don't understand.
You just got proven wrong. You're like, it's still wrong.
Yeah.
It took us 30 minutes to talk about a referee decision.
When you
got it wrong.
You
asked me why is Philip laughing? 40 minutes talking about a referee decision. Tell went out of his way to show you all this evidence that it was the right way to do it, and you're still saying,
Terry just went out. Terry went out to get the right picture. I showed you. I sent the pic. Terry showed you the picture I was talking about, where they drew it from way deeper, not from the middle of the biceps, and that was my evidence that they drew the lines from somewhere different. So I said, maybe I got it wrong. They need to draw the lines, all of them from the same place, and I just admitted I moved on. That's it. That's a difference, bro. I said I moved on. I looked at it. There is a lot of people that think it's offside as well. I thought it was offside. Maybe I got it wrong that they draw it this time from this place. If they draw it the same place next time, I would say
we don't want to be like Arsenal fans. City fans don't like.
That's the thing, bro.
You just sounded like an Arsenal fan.
You just spent 40 minutes talking about referee decision.
This is insane.
I was asked my opinion. You can ask, bro, Philip. You can ask Terry. You can ask Terry not to invite me again. It's fine. If it's your show, you can ask Terry not to invite me again.
Terry,
please.
You just said we're not Arsenal fans. You spent 40 minutes talking about referee.
Like an Arsenal fan, Hamza. I'm not associated with this.
Terry, please, next time, if Philip, you can ask Philip for permission to invite me to the show, please, so I can get my opinion on the show if Newcastle are playing. Seriously. But it's fine. We are in the same group, Terry. You can ask for his permission so I can be on the show, so I can say whatever I want. It's uncensored here. I can say whatever I want, bro. And you can absolutely like debate me, like Ash did. You know, the Nick did. They did. It's fine. It's a back and forth. It's a back and forth thing. It's fine. Terry went, got the evidence. You know what? The difference is Terry went and got the evidence, and fine. It's a debate that we can get things wrong.
I understand what you said, Mo, in the sense of the way it looks, and that's why we have these conversations. You thrash these things out, and you kind of come to a conclusion. We've got a few super chats to go to, but I want to hear Kel's breakdown because I know Kel isn't going to speak about referees. What went wrong for City today, and how comes, in your opinion, Newcastle got one over on you in today's game?
Yeah, you're right. I'm not going to talk about the referee because I'm not a bitchy little Arsenal fan. I don't talk about the referees. I don't care. That goal was a valid goal to me. I move on from it. But for me, it's just not good enough today. Jeremy Doku, you fucking injured Connor Bradley. You just absolutely killed him the last game. And you couldn't do that against coming back from a long-term injury, Livramento. Not good enough. Phil Foden. I expected so much more from Phil Foden today. I thought he completely hid. If Mo and Terry want to keep asking me why I'm not saying City are the title favorites, it's because of games like this. We're not performing away from home. We should have beat Arsenal away. We drew the game. We were absolutely terrible against Villa on the road. And now we're terrible against Newcastle. Just not good enough. This is not consistent. What?
Brighton away as well. Brighton away, remember?
Well, Brighton, whatever. Those are the kind of games. I expect us to do better against the better teams. Like, if we want to be in the title race, these are the kind of games I want to win. This is a game we should have won. I think we're a better team than Newcastle. I've watched most of Newcastle's games this season. I'm sorry, you guys just aren't a good team. I've watched you got bitch slapped by Brentford and by West Ham. West Ham, who are probably going to be relegated. And we showed up to this game at St. James and just didn't look up for it. Very disappointing, Phil Foden. I'm also going to call out Erling Haaland. You have to do better. This was just not good enough. Ryan Cherky, I don't think he was good enough either today. Our attack was just not good enough, and that's where we lost the game. I think Donnarumma had a very good game. I think Ruben Diaz had a game. I'm at a loss for words. I expected us to win this game, and I'm very disappointed that we didn't. So I got really rattled on the live stream I was on earlier today. I've been very emotional about this game, and do you know why? Won the game. They deserved it.
I know you don't watch Newcastle. is because the whole reason you said was because of Tino Livramento. And the person who was the most pivotal part about our entire team today was Lewis Hall. And he's been out basically since February of the start of this year against he came back and did 190 minutes against Bournemouth and then had a hamstring injury. We've been playing centre backs at left backs. We've been playing Tino Livramento at left back. We are actually been seeing a team in their actual position, and you see how much difference it can make. How we're able to go up both sides of the wings, because instead of having Tino Livramento be in his actual position and Lewis Hall be there, we're actually seeing us attacking properly. And Harvey Barnes now can actually play the ball. Yes, we have not been looked great in previous games, but that's because of circumstances. We've had loads of injuries. It happens. Every team gets that.
Lose games with all those players.
No, we haven't. Lewis Hall, his first game today. What are you about? He played one game in the
Newcastle
games with Tino Livramento.
Yeah, Newcastle this season are not as good as what people think.
Yeah, but we're telling you why. Like, we didn't have our fullbacks, literally.
You've not even seen our number 9 step foot on the training
melting
pitch.
down because you didn't have Dan Burn today, so I'm not listening to this fullback.
Any fan who has
I've literally been listening to meltdowns about that, so I'm not buying this whole thing. Sorry.
But Kel, let me ask you something. What about the substitution by Pep Guardiola? Because I think
why is Omar Marmoush not the first substitution off the bench? He scored a hat-trick against Newcastle last season. Why is he not a part of this team? I don't get it. This is really starting to frustrate me because he literally, like, single-handedly carried us to the Champions League last season when Erling Haaland was out. Why is he not a part of this team? Why is Oscar Bob and Savio coming on in front of Omar Marmoush? I don't get it.
So you're going to be blaming. You're going to be blaming Pep. You're going to be blaming Pep when Haaland missed chances. Like, I've not heard any sort of onus be put on.
I'm not going to let Tony go from this because I'm one of Tony's biggest backers. I'm not letting him escape this today.
But this is what you can do. You can say Foden missed chances, but then don't just say Haaland didn't either, because he did.
I did say Haaland missed chances. Did you not hear me?
Yeah, great strikers do have bad games.
But you're saying that he's the Mamouche and stuff is the exact reason why you guys didn't win today. Haaland
No, Ash. No, Kel didn't say the exact reason. She didn't say the exact reason.
I fully blame Foden and Haaland, the two of them together, and Ryan Turkey. Not good enough.
Yeah, I think what we're trying to say is I think City played well, but because you guys keep on referencing Brentford and West Ham, and fair play, we're bad, but what we're trying to communicate to you is our fullbacks make a world of difference to how Newcastle play, how Lewis Hall and having Livramento play. When they play and they're able to push up, Lewis Hall in the close spaces and can able to invert, our wingers are able to come up front and invert. Both the goals that you saw today, especially the first one, you saw at least 4 Newcastle forwards around your penalty box. Guess where the fullbacks were? They're right up next to them. They make a world of difference to how we play. It's not the same Newcastle team that played against West Ham. It's not the same Newcastle team that played against Brentford. And City played really, really well as well. Like, you guys could have been tuned up like at the beginning. I think obviously as fans we'll be all harsh, more critical of our own teams. I don't think City played that badly. Like, we went into a 5-3-2. We stopped your fullbacks. We paid a lot of attention to Doku, who's a very, very talented winger. We had 2 men on him. Like, we paid him a lot of attention. Like, it was difficult for him. Hard, and he was still able to get key passes through. Like, I don't think City were that bad, honestly. Like, and
I think Foden misses, and I said it at halftime. I said it to City fans. I said, you can't go to and miss those kind of chances. And I remember having KDB and these guys in that big game, big moments, bang, away games. And I'm sorry, this is the problem. We don't have game changers. Arsenal went and got Eze at Crystal Palace. When they were drawing against us, they brought Eze and Martinelli on, who made the difference. We brought Oscar Bob and Savio. Savio, who we're not ever going to get that 70 million again. We will not get that 70 million. And because that 70 million hurts Pep Guardiola so much that he needs to force it to show it to us. But guess what? Every game Savio's having stinkers. And Kel, I know you're blaming Doku, but Doku had 2 men on him. Every time he got the ball, he was dribbling.
Well, Doku had 2 men against him at Liverpool, and he did very well.
I'm
sorry, expectations go up when you perform well for Doku, and when you fall back like this, I'm going to criticize you because again, his expectations have gone up because he's performed so well.
Can I say something before I have to go? I actually think one of the things that Philip said is like, he didn't think that Man City played bad. And I actually agree with this. The problem with Kilk and Hamza is that sometimes you guys think that you just play. You got beat by a set piece, a second ball, and everything. I thought you played on. You created chances for Haaland. He missed. Individual performances. You let you down today. Like there are chances that you could have scored and the game could have been different. Both teams created chances. Like
we missed more chances than City did. We literally missed open goals. Like we can't just say, "Oh,
Harvey Barnes missed chance."
Voltemada missed
a chance. Voltemada missed a header. City as well. Like Haaland literally scuffed his lines when he was 1-on-1 and Nick Cook was outside the 18.
Because they both
because I have to go. To be honest with you, sometimes for teams, it is not your day. The other team were more clean. Like Harvey Barnes missed a chance, and like shout out to him because it's not in his head, and he scored 2 brilliant goals, like one by the heel and one the finish he did. And I think they just kept going. I think when Haaland missed that chance, it was in his head the whole game. It was in his head the whole game.
I hear that. Kane, do you feel like it's a little disingenuous? Because when you look at today's game, Haaland and Foden did miss big chances. But the bigger chances, the bigger XG, and the greater volume of big chances today were missed by Newcastle.
Yeah, I mean, listen, this is what we're used to because we're just Newcastle and it's Man City. I want to give Malick Thiaw a shout out. And actually, I know people in the chat were doing it. I think Malick Thiaw matched Haaland and he nullified a lot of what Haaland was trying to do. And this is why one of the things I always hold against Haaland, I think he's a physical freak. But if you've got a defender who can match him physically, he has a tendency of going missing like in these games. And I just want to give Malick Thiaw a huge shout out. He limited him to what he had. And yeah, I think, listen, I don't really care if people want to downplay what Newcastle are doing. I think Newcastle, like I said in that first half, we went toe-to-toe with Man City. They had some great chances, like Phil said, but so did we. I think, like I said, I think we just shaded it in terms of chances. I think we had like 4 massive chances where Barnes should have had 2. I mean, how he didn't score that from the cross from Murphy is beyond belief, honestly.
He did it against Barcelona. Do you remember?
Yeah. No, that was Gordon and
Gordon from Alanga.
Was that Gordon?
Yeah. But it was almost identical in terms of chances.
Yeah.
But that one, and then the Voltemada header, I want to give all the credit to Donnarumma on that one, how he gets down. That was a fantastic save by him. So I'm not going to, but the chance when he got played through by Barnes and I think he chose the wrong shot rather than going to the left hand side. He should have dinked it to the right, and that's a goal.
Yeah, I think he delayed as well. The commentators or the pundits pulled up on that, and you watch it, and he sort of half hesitates. It's one of those shots you just got to hit that first time, a little bit of height on the ball, send the goalie the opposite way, and it's almost what Rio and Gamara did to you guys. Just first time, put it into the far, slightly different angle of the ball came into him, but put it into the opposite corner. First time hit, bit of height, nothing you can do about it.
Yeah, I mean,
but he looked good though. I thought Voldemada's overall play though today. I mean, interesting in watching that game straight after I watched Isak and Liverpool. He looks like the player that's been in the Premier League for the past 3 or 4 years.
Have you seen him? Have you seen him for Germany?
It's like
he's been. Yeah, I think Germany has also helped him with being this sort of like centre forward because he's been playing this role for Germany. So I think it's been really helping him for us at Newcastle. And,
that it speaks to the strengths that Voltemada has. That he doesn't. I think, and this is where I want to praise Voltemada and also sort of give a little criticism to Eddie in that. We are used to playing with like Isak and Voltemada are very different. Like if he that chance that falls to Voltemada there, I think Isak buries that no problem because he's used to being sort of put through in that sort of situation, hanging on the last man, running through and scoring. Whereas Voltemada, I think he likes to play it a bit too much. I think he likes to be on the ball. He wants to like sort of pass it around like a typical number 10 sort of shadow striker kind of thing. Which is why when you've seen him get put through the way he is, he's not as crisp as like your Haaland, your Isaks, your Vissers. I think like if a Johan Viss is on the end of that, I think he he takes it beyond the defender, so he's 1-on-1 and he puts that home.
Yeah.
But listen, what he lacks in those areas, I think he'll make up with, because he's shown that he can do it. He's got the talent, and he's what I'm positive about is he's still getting in the positions. I think if he stops making he stops getting those chances, that's when I'll really be worried. But for now, listen,
that makes sense.
He's a few games into his Premier League season, and he's doing a lot better than certain Liverpool players.
I hear that. I'm going to jump into these super chats here. This is Kojo. Kojo says Chelsea for the title. Sorry, Liverpool is what he says here. Kath says regarding the challenge on Foden, yes, it's a foul, but the answer isn't to award a penalty when the action is complete. It's to change the rules so the yellow can be awarded for the challenge whilst not awarding the penalty. I do agree. As I say, I always think they should be fouls, and I'll be very careful sometimes not to get dragged into your own bias in these conversations. They should be fouls, in my opinion, penalties. But what I always call for is, whether I like the decisions or not, I want to see a consistency in them, and they're never given. We all know they're never given. When the shots happened, if the shot isn't impeded and it comes, because again, if the shot happens and it goes in, you'd be fuming if they pulled it back for a penalty. So you can't give it, because as you say, the shots happened. That's the advantage. It's one of those weird grey area rules.
It's really very hard, because I think as a lot of fans, like even I said, I think it's a penalty. But then it's if they're being consistent about it, I can't really.
Why didn't they give us a penalty, brother? That's what I was
corner. Because didn't the ball come off a Shar?
No.
I had no idea why that was a goal kick. That made no sense.
Hamza, they don't give the penalty because what the interpretation of the rule from VAR and the PGMOL, which they are fairly consistent with, is the shots happened, the player wasn't impeded, the action's complete because the shot's gone wide or over, therefore it isn't a foul. Similarly to if you foul someone before a free kick or a corner's given, you can be booked for it, you can be reprimanded, but you can't concede a foul because the action hasn't begun. Does that make sense? Or if a corner's taken and the ball goes, if a corner's taken and a ball goes out of play, it's swung out of play, but in that moment a player drags another guy down, a penalty's not given because the action's over. That's why. Where the rule maybe should change is if the challenge is dangerous, maybe there should be a card still, but because the ball's gone out of play and then he's hit him, officially they can't give a penalty for it. That's the kind of technical element of it, but I think they've got to look at it.
Got a penalty for similar decision, and that's what confuses you. You can't have one rule in Europe.
Well, and I think UEFA is a little different. You look at UEFA in UEFA, that would have been a handball today, 100%. So it's a different competition,
and that's the problem.
This Kojo here says, Mo, I don't want to hear nothing from you again, is what Kojo said here. Big up, Kojo. James here says the line was almost on Diaz's elbow. Look, as we said, it's been released. You can see it. It goes into the middle of his arm. The difference between this and this, I shouldn't have to explain this, but one of the arms is here, the other arm is there. Therefore, it's going to look different on a graphic. They've drawn it to the middle of his arm, in the middle of his bicep. That's where it goes to. I know everyone's arms. And what I will say about the bottom of the shirt sleeve, there is an anomaly in there as well if we want to get really pernickety. Not everybody's shirts are the same length of sleeve. So you got to be mindful with that. This here says, surely Chelsea must now. Unless you watched the debate last night, you won't. By the way, Don has been on at me all day going, I can't believe you and Hamza, you and Hassam still don't get where I'm coming from. I still can't believe you've been cooked by me. He still thinks he won that debate.
Bro, that was actually
the maddest bitch. What do you mean? I'll get him on the undateables, bruv. Now we need a protractor for the rule book PGMOL out. Well, Manny, this is one of the things, though, right? So Wenger and the FIFA are pushing where there has to be kind of like a daylight rule between the player. So things like this would never be offside, but you're still going to have this because there'll be a point where someone is offside still by a millimeter, if that makes sense. And this is the issue. Wherever you make the rule, no matter how much the leeway is, there's always then going to be a millimeter within it. You can't stop it being a millimeter. So it may literally be the length of a toenail gets you offside today. But if you go right, you get like a 1 yard or half a meter leeway, and it goes in the favor of the attackers. You can be a toenail's length over that as well, and it will be the same conversation. Do you know why? Because when people lose, shit gets discussed. Like it's just when VAR came in, I remember the biggest thing pundits said and the newspapers said, we're going to get rid of debate. Debate's going to go. So yeah, it'll be going nowhere. Kel, Hamza, Phil, Kane and Ash, and of course Mo was on there. Thank you for coming on and joining me. I want to thank all of our viewers, all of our super chatters, absolute legends. I'm so glad Premier League football's back. I can't tell you, last Saturday, last week, I felt so bored. It's unbelievable. I nearly cleaned my office. I was so bored. It was one of them things, you know what I mean? I actually had to spend time with my children. It was so crazy. So,
and if Arsenal win tomorrow, it'll be more boring.
By the way, Arsenal fans, if you owe us now, you can forget that whole Joe Willock. It was over the line. Like we've done all that we can for you now. We're all even now. Please. Like.
That's it. Tomorrow, obviously, fan channel review is going to be beautiful in the morning. I've got one of my best friends from school, Danielle, has recorded me a beautiful song to clip out. I've got to slack a little bit because I might be copyrighting this one. So, fan channel review is back in the morning, and then of course we'll be reacting to Arsenal versus Tottenham in the afternoon as well. This is going to redirect you to Mo and Hassam's channel, to MHF. Sorry, MFH. I don't know what the hell that is. MHF. Go and support the boys over there. But I want to thank you all so much for tuning in as always. Take care. Goodbye. God bless. And we'll see you all again soon.